It's an annual horsepower happening, and it's happening right now, so stay with us. Today on Horsepower TV, get ready for a Horsepower TV special, the 23rd Annual Street Machine Nationals, with wild and quick quarter-mile drag racing, some of the most gorgeous show cars on the planet, and more.
Can't get any better than this. This is beautiful.
It's the horsepower happening of the year and a power party you don't want to miss. So hang on for Horsepower TV. For 23 years, the Street Machine Nationals has been one of the hottest events for cool cars in the country. Everything from street rods, hot rods, and cool customs. Well, this year's bash is going to be bigger than ever. That's because for the first time ever, they've gone racing. The new Street Machine Nationals has attracted quite an army of quick contenders around the Midwest. Serious street fighters who've come to do battle in both pro and super pro classes.
They're made to be driven. Race them hard. If you break them, fix them.
Mama went racing, why leave anything to the kids?
Plus, red-hot match races with a mob of bad guys from Chi-Town who brought their alcohol-blown and nitrous-sprayed lethal weapons to make a hit job here at Route 66.
All these wise guys over here in the pit area, we're all best of friends. Anybody will not dispute that. When you get in that staging area, I don't know him. He don't know me. We're out for blood, that's all. That's why they call us the Chicago Wise Guys.
Plus, there's ground-shaking exhibition runs courtesy of Arnie Breswick's 7-second GTO, the Tameless Tiger, and Paul Barnes in his 59 Bad Cat pink Cadillac. Of course, as always, the events attracted thousands of show cars. A mind-blowing mix of gorgeous rods that could have you drooling for days.
It's amazing. I don't know how these show car judges do this. I mean, I couldn't pick one out over another one. I mean, they're all gorgeous cars.
Soon after the gates opened Friday, time trials were going hot and heavy, but where's the crowd? Well, over here in line for a close encounter with a former WWF superstar.
I like Sable.
Yep, she was known as Sable in the ring and obviously had the racing and wrestling fans all revved up.
Well, if you were in a car show, would you be stock or modified?
I don't know. I'm very interested in both of them, so I think I might be able to have a car shown in both.
Okay, if you're interested in a carnival of cool show cars and some red-hot racing at main events, plus everything from bathing suits to burnout contests to sideshows, well, this is the high-performance circus for you. The Street Machine Nationals is one of the horsepower happenings of the year, and you just happen to have the best seat in the house.
Hey, don't be a wise guy. Stay tuned or else.
Yeah! All right, welcome back to Route 66. This Camaro's got a 572 cubic inch blown alcohol engine, making about 1,500 horses, and it runs in the sevens. Now, the driver is part of a group of renegade racers you're going to love called the Chicago Wise Guys. Whenever this gang of match racers from the Windy City blows into town, well, each guy has one thing on his mind.
Go as fast as you can and, you know, hopefully you're there first.
And according to the junior member of the gang, all the wise guys are out for blood.
Yes, we are. There's points, there's money, you know. So we're out there to win because there's bragging rights after the sun goes down and you grab that first bear, there's bragging rights.
The The senior member of the gang runs in this 57 Chevy with a naturally aspirated big block.
It's got a little over 500 cubic inches in this thing, no nitrous, no blower, automatic. How do you do it?
It's got a lot of compression, and I got the converter is it stalls at about 6,000, and I usually go to the wood just before the light comes down, and I brought 6,000 on the converter when I leave. Somebody asked my wife one day what we had in the car. She said her new house. But she goes with me all the time. When I go racing, she's always there. And I'll tell you a little story. I was married to one time. She said either I go or the car goes, and I still got the car.
This is his whole life. You take that away from him, and he wouldn't know what to do. So, no, we love it.
You don't ever drive this thing, do you?
When I want groceries and in a hurry, I run down to the grocery store for it.
The leader of the points pack is Vince Portilla, who runs 2 stages of nitrous with his 55 bow tie. And why?
Cheapest horsepower you can buy. And if you know what you're doing with it, you can really go fast.
Apparently he knows Vince consistently gets his shoebox in the 7s. And he's quick to point out that on the strip, none of the wise guys is a nice guy.
Everybody's friends in the pit area, but when it's time to run, they're strangers. You know what I mean? And Joe and I, we like to be top dogs. If the track holds up, you'll see this 55 be #1 again. That's all there is to it. I don't like to brag, but I got a lot of faith in this motor. Got a lot of faith in my crew chief. And he tunes it up, we get it going.
You like working with this nitrous?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge all the time. You know, you always run on the edge, and last week we burned the piston up, so we ran a little too much on the edge.
Here we go.
While the wise guys get ready to battle it out again, let's check out a few contenders in the bracket racing bash. Mixed in with the usual Camaros and Mustangs, we discovered one of the more consistent challengers was Bill Lewick's 66 Cobra.
I love this stuff. I've been doing it most of my life, on and off as a kid, and kind of got back into it now about 5 years ago, and it's my love.
With a bored and stroked SVO engine, Victor Jr. intake, and 1050 Dominator, it runs high 9s in the Pro class. Think he gets any attention with this little blue bullet?
Yeah, I do. There's not a lot of these around to begin with, and I have a lot of people come up to me, and it makes me feel good.
While on the subject of rare racers, what about this 70 GSX? Or is it?
Started out life as a 72 Skylar, and I wanted a GSX real bad, so I just made my own. I don't think anybody would do that to a real one. It worth too much money.
Well, bracket racing is all about consistency and getting that dial in. How are you in the car there?
My buddies tell me I need an alarm clock to leave at the Christmas tree, but sometimes I'm pretty good.
In Super Pro, one of Saturday's most constant contenders was Becky Strader, whose 62 bubble top Bel Air was running regularly in the mid-8s.
We've got a 585 cubic inch motor in it, fuel injected. The car weighs, with me in it, we weighed it this weekend, so we weigh 2720, so we're fairly light with this big car. It just drives pretty much like you're on a string. It's the biggest rush that you could ever get, and the faster you go, the bigger the rush is.
Of course, the biggest rush of all is the one you get from winning. And we'll find out who's the baddest of bracket racers and winningest wise guy later here at the 23rd Annual Street Machine Nationals. Up next, get your shades ready. We've got some shiny show cars that'll put your eyes out. You're on our Horsepower TV special.
Hi, welcome back. As we told you earlier, the Street Machine Nationals has a 23-year tradition as a car show. What do you say we cruise the concourse and find out why?
What do you like? Ford, Chevy, Mopar, or how about imports? The Street Machine Nationals has them all, from extreme trucks to classic hot rods. Yeah, this place is like a candy store for the automotive enthusiast, and one of the sweetest cars here has to be this pro-modified 97 Camaro. From the super-chromed 510 cubic inch Chevy engine that puts out an amazing 1,700 horses with nitrous, to the totally polished Mark Williams rear end. Yeah, this rod is a complete package that turns heads in the show or on the go.
Guys will go by you on the freeway and literally, you gotta watch it because they want to drift because they're looking at the car, and just people stop and gaze all over.
Of course, this caught our attention too. The caddy, that is. This 59 Coupe de Ville has come a long way from factory with a down and dirty stance and a big blown motor.
I bought a car stock and wasn't sure if I was going to restore it or do something else, and I did something else.
Something else is right. Restorers might think it's a sin, but there's no denying the flames make this one hot caddy. Greg DeVore and Son built this 64 Barracuda with their own special touches. A forward tilting hood, custom interior, and a split window in the rear that can go wing open. But the most noticeable feature is the 468 big block.
The car's built to run hard and fast. That's why I don't drive it. I'm too old. I don't have the responses. He drives it.
Talk about a ride. This 468 is completely blown with forged pistons, steel crank, and all the racing goodies to go along with it.
That's what it's all about. That's the best thing about it, is going out and driving in it. That's what I love the most.
Hey, check out the graphics on this late model Chevy pickup, or this crew cab dually complete with mini bike, or this 79 Chevy stepside with super chrome engine and fully customized bed, or this Toyota Roadster?
It's kind of a blend of a couple different sports. It's part street rod, part mini truck, part lowrider. Just a combination of kind of everything.
This 88 pickup was built from the ground up with a polished bed, custom interior, and wild graphics. So no matter what part you pick, this Roadster's got something for everyone. With over 2,000 great show cars at the event, each with their own unique styles and special touches, what separates the cars that'll take home a trophy from those who won't? Luckily, head official for the Street Machine Nationals, Bob Millard, is going to fill us in on the things judges are looking for.
In this sport, it's always been mostly the induction, and by that, like the dual carburetors, the blowers, the fuel injection, who can have the highest one, who's got the shiniest one, and who has the biggest one. That's the things that impress the Street Machine family. In the Street Machine shows, definitely the engineering part is a strong point of the car. How these cars were put together and how they're built, how they sit on the ground is very important, and that all has to do with the engineering. Here's a perfect example. This is a great looking pickup truck. Look at the detail work in the dashboard, and the interior clash of the colors just fits perfect to this vehicle. This man has done a very, very nice job of finishing this off. This is what we're looking for in an interior. Looking from the paintwork, body work on the fiberglass, everything that's been done to it, they've taken a tremendous amount of time to finish this car front to back. That makes the difference between number 1 and number 10.
Well, now that we know what the judges are looking for, we'll find out who takes home some of the top trophies when we return to the 23rd Annual Street Machine Nationals. Plus, we'll see which wise guy wins the ET battle and which bracket racers wind up in the winner's circle. So stay tuned to Horsepower TV. Today it's time to find the winners, whether it's racing, show cars, burnout contest, or bathing suits. First, the beauty, winner of the Miss Street Nationals competition. She's Lacey Trying from Fort Branch, Indiana. Now the beast, the burnout competition, with a big field of challengers smoking them up for the crowd. Aaron Gerling roasted the meats of his '67 Chevelle to win the crowd's favor, and hopefully enough cash to buy a new pair for the rear. In show car competition, remember the 70-olds of Jim Martino's? Well, the judges gave his ride the nod for Best of Show honors, while Drake DeVore's 64 Cuda won Best Engine, and Brian Basic's 97 Camaro was named a Grand Champion. Now let's get back to the track, so to speak. In Pro Drag, Bill Lewick and his Cobra were winning up until the 4th round eliminations, while a truck driver from Illinois with a 71 Camaro built on a tight budget fought his way up to a semifinal buy run.
It's been a long time waiting. Long time waiting. My wife and kids are here. I'm so happy my kids are here. I had to work for that last one, cut a 503 light, ran one off my dial-in, so somebody's looking out for me. It's my weekend.
Well, almost. In a close final race, Gary lost to Clarence Harding in his 396 Chevelle, who ran 100th over his dial-in to take the top prize.
You know, I've got a consistent car. That's the main thing. That I wish I was as consistent as the car is. You know, it usually runs right on. It's never failed me yet. I just have to work at them lights a little bit more, and maybe we'll do good again.
Now Super Pro, where Becky Strader continued running in the 8s, but not close enough to her dial-in to stay in the hunt. The winner, another Chevelle, this time Rich Grease's 66, that ran just 6 thousandths off his number.
We've been working with the car all day, and we had an early miss in the car. The car was too fat, so we kept playing with the car, but the weather kept changing, so we just took a guess on the last jetting, and we hit it right.
And what advice can Rich give to you to be a winning bracket racer?
If you can race every week, you'll be dead on. I mean, it's just practice like anything. Practice makes perfect.
Meanwhile, let's see what's cooking in the Wise Guys pit.
Just look at here. You can tell a good cook when you see one. Here, that's the Wise Guys right here. Got the avocados and the tortillas. Now that's Tex-Mex cooking for you, Joe. This is what you call fajitas.
With the final match race coming up, all the weekend's points and pride are on the line.
We stepped it up. We put it back to the tune-up that we had at another track, which it ran a 726. So it should run real close to that today if the air keeps up nice and fresh.
At 1,700 feet there, and anything below 2,000 is real good air. So we figured the car ran 50 yesterday. We figured run a 30 today.
Jim Regenauer's 57 ran down this alcohol-blown Willys in the mid-8s at 160 miles an hour.
In the heat of the day, we ran at 849, 160. So happy with that.
But the top dog of the day was Vince Portera in his nitrous-sprayed 55 Chevy. This Wise Guy ran a weekend best ET of 764 at 189 miles an hour.
It was a real good, strong run on a weak clutch. You know, the clutch they got. Cat has 9 lives. A clutch only has maybe 1 or 2, and I think I used them all, both. That's, you know, but it ran all right. Could have ran a little bit better. I'm not really satisfied with it.
Well, the fans should be satisfied with the spectacle they got this weekend. One of the country's biggest car shows, now with down and dirty drag racing. Yeah, the Street Machine Nationals is a bona fide horsepower happening, and I'm glad we happened to drop in, aren't you?
Stay tuned for Horsepower TV. We'll be right back after this.
Now, Horsepower's Hot Parts, brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment, your source for high-performance parts for 30 years.
Well, it wouldn't be Horsepower TV without hot parts, so today we'd like to keep it at the track and show you some stuff we found here on the Midway. Now, over the years, a lot of you guys have been racing on well drag lights, but did you know there's a new version for your street ride as well? It's called the Draglite XP, and it's made especially for late model Camaros and Mustangs with larger brake assemblies. It's a 2-piece wheel made of lightweight aluminum and fully polished for a real show car look. So if you like to show off your street machine with a hot racing look, you can for a cool 150 and up. Autometer's been making instrument gauges for street rods and race cars for many years, but let's shed some light on something new here. It's called a Superlight, and it's got a switch in the back with a low setting for nighttime racing, medium, and high for bright daylight. So if you've been missing shifts lately, well, maybe you better see the light and get one for about 45 bucks. Whether you're racing or just out cruising, a busted water hose could put you in the pits indefinitely. That's why Edelbrock came up with this new product called Powerbond Self-Sealing Wrap. Now this stuff actually shrinks to form an airtight, waterproof, solid piece of rubber. It's a good temporary fix for belts and hoses, works wet or dry, greasy or dirty, and costs about 10 bucks a roll. Well, that's a wrap in more ways than one. Here's a look at next week's show.
We'll kick off our crate motor buildup on Project Blue Thunder with a 502 cube engine that makes 502 horses. We'll head to West Palm Beach for a Ford lover's paradise, where the Blue Oval boys do battle on the strip. Plus, we got a cool tip on how to use weather stripping to make your hot rod a real showstopper.
Meanwhile, the track's down, the stands are empty, and it's time to head home. But remember, high performance fun is what this show is all about.
Power TV is an RTM production.